Okay, so welcome to Kicking Back on November 30th, page 44. Don't forget your Roman numerals in there as well. The first word is the word banter. What's the word? Excellent, banter. And banter is simply to tease someone in a friendly way. So sometimes when I'll say you're a homograph hater or something like that, I'll say, woo-wee. Lots of tough ones today. That's kind of bantering back and forth, all right? It's to tease or to joke or to jest, to wisecrack, to kid somebody, to riff or to rib, all right? Great antonym would be to flatter or to compliment in the positive sense, or the negative is to criticize. One other positive one can be to praise. Okay, so banter. Technically, it is a homograph. For example, banter is to tease, it's the verb. Okay, but banter when you're going back and forth with one another. Banter, banter. Okay, first syllable, ban. Second syllable, ter, banter. How do we mark this up? Excellent, underline the Okay, the next word is the word indulge. What's the word? Excellent, indulge. Sometimes you'll hear something like you'll indulge the senses. So a great way of thinking of indulge is to give into something. You see something very tasty on the table, you know you're not supposed to eat it, but you decide to indulge anyway. Nick's mother always indulges her sweet tooth. Right? She likes the sweet stuff, so she's going to give into it. She's not going to show any kind of willpower or self-control. A great way of thinking about it is the word splurge, to pamper, to spoil, to overdo, to satisfy, like you satisfy your sweet tooth, or to fulfill, quench your thirst, to accommodate or to gratify. Excellent antonym is to deny, to not give in to something, to abstain, to sort of not even participate or deprive yourself. Okay? You really want something, but you say, I'm not going to indulge. A lot of people who are watching their weight or who are on a very strict diet for training, they cannot overindulge. They cannot indulge. Let's go. Indulge. Indulge. First syllable, in. Second syllable, dulge. And given that Thanksgiving just passed, a lot of you started to indulge a lot of things. All right, so we have two things to mark up. Underline the G and the silent E twice. Job number 3 and rule 3. Soft G, sometimes when followed by Y, I, or E. The next word is the word relish. What's the word? Excellent, relish, which just simply means to enjoy something greatly. So to enjoy, to savor, to value, to cherish, to love, or to like, or to appreciate. All right, like we relish our free time on the weekends. However, relish can also be used in another way. Anybody who eats some sort of food like hot dogs or hamburgers, it's a topping or a condiment. Excuse me, it's a topping or a condiment. People like to put relish on their hot dogs. People relish. All right? So going back to when you enjoy something, that first definition, an antonym could be dislike or detest, which is an old vocabulary word, to hate, to dread. All right, some people relish vocabulary in homographs, some people don't. They dread it. All right, so I can't really think of any other antonym for relish in terms of the topping other than to say that it's plain. All right, but again, some other synonyms for it could be a sauce, dressing, dip, or seasoning, topping, condiment. All right, so relish. Let's go. Relish. Relish. First syllable, rel. Second syllable, ish. Relish. Okay, how do we mark this up? Underline the sh. We could use it more than one way. It is a homograph. Etymology is the same. Definitions are different. The next word is the word revel. What's the word? Excellent. And to revel means to take great satisfaction in something. So, for example, when you achieve something, you revel in that moment. You take great satisfaction in that. Okay? So it's something you might celebrate. It might be in a festive sort of a mood when you revel. We revel in a party with the festivities. Let's see, what else? To delight in something, to enjoy, to savor. Okay, an antonym might be to mourn, to be distressed, to be down in the dumps, feeling blue, melancholy, to be disappointed. And a great idiom, I just used a few for antonyms, a great idiom for revel is you're on top of the world. Revel, let's go. Rev-el, revel. First syllable, rev. Second syllable, el, revel. I know many of you would revel in the fact if you had no homework. Indeed. The next word is the word excursion. What's the word? Excellent. An excursion. It's a short journey, often to a place of interest. Okay, my grandfather took us on an excursion in the car to a place where he had grown up. And in excursion, we have some terrific synonyms: adventure, quest, an outing, a junket, an expedition, a journey, a trip, or even a drive. And antonym's a little bit tough, but I could think of actually, in terms of the types of people who don't like to go on adventures, you could say that they're homebodies, they like to stay put, or even a couch potato, to do nothing, lazy bones, a hermit. Excursion, let's go. Excursion. Excursion. We use the like in nurse. So let's go. First syllable, ex. Second syllable, cur. Third syllable, jan. Excursion. All right, so how do we mark this up? Underline the and the j, second sound in between the s and the I. When you go on an excursion to some place of interest, you might feel ebullient. You might feel lively and exciting. Okay, so the first word of the day is the word interval. What's the word? Excellent. Just think of the word interval like skip counting, right? If you count by twos, you're leaving out the odd numbers. If you're counting 2, 4, 6, 8, the intervals you're skipping, it's 2 spaces, right? You're skipping a space. It's a skip, it's a gap, it's distance. There might be a pause. There's an interval when we were speaking, a span or a separation. You could think of it in intervals in music when you're learning violin, right? They're teaching you about how to fret those notes. Okay? The interval between 2010 and 2020 is 10 years. Anyway, great antonyms are when things are connected or close, or it's a continuation. All right, so interval. Let's go. Sorry. Interval. 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 And the next and last word for the day is word number 2, and that is domain. What's the word? Excellent. Domain. Animals do not like when you enter their domain. They feel threatened. Exactly. So that is territory, a field, okay, an area, a kingdom, a zone, an orbit, or a sphere. For example, you might say, that's my domain. If you're a musician or an artist, that's my field of expertise. But again, a territory, a field, an area, a kingdom, a zone, like a comfort zone, or out of your comfort zone, an orbit, or a sphere. And antonyms, I honestly cannot think of any. If you can, great, but it's optional in this particular case because I just can't think of any. Domain. Domain. The A that cannot be used at the end of a word. Let's go. First syllable, do. Second syllable, main. Domain. How do we mark this up? Underline the O and the A. The O can say O at the end of a syllable. That's rule 4. All right, so let's review. Domain. Domain. How do we mark this up? Underline the Sorry about that. Let's go. Interval. Interval. Excursion. Excursion. Revel. Revel. Relish. Relish. Okay, etymology is the same. You need 2 different definitions and pages. Let's go. Indulge. Indulge. Lots of people like to indulge in ice cream during the warm summer months. And the last one, banter. Banter. Sometimes when you and your friends are teasing one another or you're going back and forth, you like to banter with each other, okay? And again, we can use it in terms of teasing as a verb. And what's all that banter going on? Said Mr. Modell. You need to concentrate on your work. So we could use it more than one way. I forgot to do this at the beginning. It is a homograph. Okay, go to it.